Good evening, Anand. Welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination news, newspapers, talking points. The big talking point and our big focus will be on the Uttarkashi tunnel rescue operation. We'll have ground reports and bring you all the very latest as the rescue operations continue to try and save 41 laborers trapped inside that collapsed tunnel. We'll also tell you what's happening on the campaign trail in Rajasthan. Hindutva and caste politics pitted against each other. What's winning out? Also, why did India lose that World Cup final? We'll try and give you some reasons and answers. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. A glimmer of hope for 41 workers trapped in the Uttarkashi tunnel. 6-inch lifeline pipe reaches the workers. They will now be given solid food like fruits and khichdi. Civic apathy kills a mother and daughter in Bengaluru. They were electrocuted to death by a live wire that was lying on the footpath. FIR registered. World Cup final loss triggers polarized politics. Congress says no ICC trophies under Prime Minister Modi. Says India won 3 World Cups under Congress rule. An ugly dogfight in Telangana just ahead of elections. Chief Minister KCR calls Revant Reddy of the Congress a barking dog. Reddy hits back, says father-son duo are mad dogs. After ban on halal certified products in Uttar Pradesh, food safety officials raid retail stores at several locations. Politics erupts. Opposition cites a communal agenda. BJP defends the legal process. First toxic air, now toxic water in Delhi, toxic froth in Yamuna amidst Chhath Puja, layers of toxic foam float on the river. Mera Sacha Sauda chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim gets 8th parole for 21 days. The self-proclaimed godman serving a sentence for raping 2 women. Opposition claims it's being done with an eye on the Rajasthan elections. A new video released by Israel shows Hamas terrorists wheeling hostages into the Al-Shifa hospital. A 50-meter tunnel shaft is also uncovered, claim Israel Defense Forces at the hospital premises. Sacked by OpenAI, ChatGPT founder Sam Altman joins Microsoft. Satya Nadella announces that Altman will be the CEO of a new AI research team. But our big story today is the Uttarkashi tunnel rescue ops in Uttarakhand. There is hope of a breakthrough after 9 days where 41 laborers, remember, are trapped in a collapsed tunnel. A lifeline for them now because a pipe has reached the trapped workers. The 6-inch pipe will enable the rescue operation to send fruits, khichdi to workers. Phone chargers also likely to be sent in, and DRDO robots are also being sent into tunnels even as global experts have arrived on the site to find a way in which those workers who are trapped in that collapsed tunnel can be rescued. So there is some hope of a breakthrough after that pipe has managed to reach the workers who are trapped in the tunnel. Ashutosh Mishra is our man on the ground live from Uttarkashi. Ashutosh, how hopeful are those involved in the rescue operations that this pipe at least will ensure that food can be sent to the trapped workers? What next? What can you tell us is happening now?
Well, Rajdeep, till this morning, only it was the disappointment which further led to anxiety, concern, apprehensions, not only for the 41 trapped workers, but also their family members all across the country. But the moment we heard the first word that we have made a breakthrough, and the breakthrough was an attempt to insert a 6-inch diameter pipe inside across the debris which is 57 meter in the length. And the moment it happened, it was at least a sign of hope. And the hope, perhaps, Rajdeep, is what is most needed here, both the side, both for the rescuers and also to the trapped workers, that now they'll be able to take a proper food. There have been several medical complications, including stomach, headache, and several other, because for last 9 days they have been only eating cashews, almonds, and dry fruits. But for now, as we speak, food is being supplied them through the in a packed bottle, through that scape 6 inches pipe, which is now 57 meter in length. Now, once they receive it, this rescue team also told me that anything that they require will be ensured reaches them, including a wired phone, including anything that they would require. So now there is a hope, and in fact, the first word that I heard from the rescue team that they had with the people, that now we are really hopeful that there will be help that is reaching soon. But this moment, what it makes, Rajdeep, that other side of the debris, those 41 people, it could be just a moment of quarantine in a dark tunnel where there is a very small light. As far as oxygen is concerned, the supply is quite adequate. Adequate amount of water is already present through the natural sources in that tunnel. There are multiple plan of action that is being worked upon as we speak. Most likely by early morning, the auger machine yet again will start functioning, as the concrete structure safety protocol has already been built up to avoid any further such tragedy with already those workers working inside, because there have been massive vibration. Day before yesterday there was earthquake also, a light intensity magnitude earthquake. So clearly, since those plan of action work, the fastest will be the horizontal drilling right behind me in the tunnel. As far as vertical drilling and other options are concerned, that's a time-consuming, a time-taking process. And for now, it is only the logistical issues which is facing hurdle. We have the DRDO's robotics team here. We have the geo satellite mapping team here. And for now, all the agencies are putting their best effort to reach them as soon as possible. But it will take at least 24 to 48 hours, as there are a fragile mountain and multiple challenges on the way.
There are global experts also, Ashutosh, who've arrived. I know you spoke to one of them. What are they saying? Are they hopeful that we could have the workers out within the next 48 hours?
Well, the first assurance had from the International Tunneling Association and the ground space, Professor Arnold Dix said that I will ensure all of them come soon and safe. But the time frame is concerned, no one is ready to give you, and the reason is being the fragile mountain. And the moment there's a drilling start, the equilibrium maintenance is major challenge, because there's a vibration, and then you have a more debris fall inside the tunnel. So until and unless the auger machines start functioning, rotating, drilling, because there is a massive block of a stone, of a rock inside the tunnel after 24th meter. Total distance as they have to take is 60 meter, and after 24 meter there is a block. Now, until unless they cut it down, the rotator goes further, it will be difficult to assess. So for now, only by tomorrow evening you'll get to know what will be the estimate time. Where other parallel efforts are being done, the fastest and the best way will be only what has already been through, almost halfway through. But for now, they are waiting for the clearance, for the safety. Once it is done, machine will start yet again functioning. So clearly, another 48 hours, we will have to wait. But for now, the sign of relief is that at least they'll be getting food, they'll be getting proper medicine, they'll be getting communication. And that is what is required most at the moment, Rajdeep.
Okay, Ashutosh, for giving us lots of those details. Appreciate your joining us. Ashutosh, giving us details of that rescue operation. Remember, rescue operations to save the lives of the 41 trapped workers has entered its 9th day. Now, 5 agencies are involved. International experts, as I said earlier, have joined that rescue work at the tunnel site. Our report from the ground.
Finally, a small breakthrough in the mission to save 41 workers trapped after a tunnel collapsed in Uttarkashi. A 6-inch pipe inserted by the rescue team has reached the workers roughly 200 meters away from the mouth of the tunnel.
उसके लिए हम बोतलें ला रहे हैं कुछ प्लास्टिक की जो कि सिलिंड्रिकल होगी और जिसका मुंह बड़ा होगा जिससे हम उसमें सामान भर सके उसमें बम बनाना भेजेंगे एप्पल के टुकड़े भेजेंगे हम उसमें दलिया भेजेंगे खिचड़ी भेजेंगे ऑल दिस स्टफ सो उनका पेट खराब ना हो.
After facing several setbacks, rescue teams in Uttarakhand are following yet another new plan to rescue the workers who were trapped after the tunnel caved in 9 days ago. Rescue workers are trying to drill a vertical hole now from the top of the mountain. This is in addition to the escape passage being created from the front of the tunnel in a horizontal direction.
टनल बनता है जिसमें एक्सेस अप्रोच बनता है, उसमें से एनडीआरएफ के लोग अंदर जा सकते हैं, या उनको रोप की जरूरत है, कोई सपोर्ट की स्ट्रक्चर की जरूरत है, तो लोग जाके अंदर से उनको फिजिकली भी ला सकते हैं. अगर कोई चलने में कोई दिक्कत हो रही तो हम स्ट्रक्चर में भी करके बारी से ला सकते हैं.
The Border Roads Organization has created an access road for machines to reach the top of the hill, from where a pipe will now be drilled for the vertical hole.
हम ऑलरेडी देख रहे हैं कि आपकी मशीनें ऊपर तक पहुंच रही हैं. लॉजिस्टिकल चैलेंज कितना बड़ा और कितना समय लग सकता है?
बस अभी हमें थोड़े इंटरफेरेंस है, जो नीचे वाइब्रेशन आ रहा करके पब्लिक की मूवमेंट है. अगर ये खाली हो गया तो हम 2-3 घंटे में पूरा वहां तक रोड बना के दे देंगे.
इंटरनेशनल एक्सपर्ट्स भी आ गए हैं, उनका भी कुछ सुझाव हो रहा है इसको लेकर के?
रास्ते बनाने का कोई सुझाव नहीं है, सिर्फ वो जहाँ पर ड्रिल करने वो उसकी एफिकेसी कितना है, उसकी क्या आफ्टर इफेक्ट क्या है.
तो क्या मान सकते हैं आज वहां तक पहुंच जाएगा रास्ता?
हाँ, रास्ता पहुंच जाएगा.
Authorities have roped in global experts to oversee and expedite relief operations.
We, as a full, coordinated international team, led by our local experts who are here, who are the experts, we are committed, and I've said it, I'll say it again, we are getting 41 men out of this tunnel, and we're making sure no one else gets hurt in the process.
Okay.
That's the difficulty.
It is believed that this is one of the newest mountains, very fragile in nature.
Very fragile. You don't have to be a professor, right? It's telling you what the problem is. So
we have seen
to do a deal, and we're going to do a deal with this mountain.
The rescue mission has suffered many hiccups so far, including a breakdown of drilling machines.
Every time the American auger machine reaches to certain hurdle, strong material, solid material, then there is sense of vibration, and to maintain that equilibrium, it requires cooling off period. Now, because of that, also there are debris falling inside the tunnel and also risking lives of those workers. These blocks are ensuring another parallel micro tunnel inside the tunnel, which will ensure the moment there is a vibration or a possibility of debris fall, the workers and the experts can immediately run to the safer side through these passages.
The operation was temporarily halted on Friday afternoon due to fears that more parts of the tunnel could cave in. Food and medicines are being supplied to the trapped workers through a pipe, and all 41 are said to be doing okay. With Ashutosh Mishra in Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get a sense of the challenges involved then in rescuing these workers. Professor C.S. Dubey, geologist, joins me. And Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG of the NDRF, is also with us. I appreciate both of you joining us. Mr. Bhatnagar, I presume that given the number of agencies involved in this, it clearly requires, this is not just a typical NDRF operation, the kind that you would do to rescue people trapped in a cyclone or in flood situations. This requires highly specialized teams because of the nature of the operation. Do you believe that we are equipped in this country to deal with an operation of this kind?
Yeah, definitely. Because now the expert people as well as the equipments are there with us. With us means the experts were called from abroad and machines were collected from different part of India as well as US also. So we hope that with the help of the DRDO robotics and all these things, we will able to dig this pipe up to that area, our target area. If our pipe will go there, so definitely our people who are expert in this tunnel escaping rescue, immediately they will approach to the people and they will take out the victims and the people, and we hope that within day or two we can save them safely. Yeah.
You know, Professor Dubey, when we spoke to the international experts who've arrived, they say it could take longer, that it could even stretch right up to Christmas, but they're hopeful that they will eventually ensure that laborers are come out alive. one of the problems seems to be the fragility of the mountainside. Uttarkashi is an area which is quake prone. These are very fragile mountains. Is that one of the big challenges, Professor Dubey?
Yes, I'm really surprised that how for 9 days they have been left in the tunnel, because this area is very, very fragile. The rock types are mainly phyllites, schist and quartzites. Quartzites are a bit tough rocks, but the phyllites and schists are very soft. So when you drill, you have to be very careful about where you are drilling, because if you drill in the quartzite, it will take longer time. If you drill in the softer rock, it will take smaller time, but it will have more debris flow. So, and this area is very steep slopes are there in this area. It has thrust faults are there. There are fractures in this. One has to be very careful if the water seeps out of that. As I have been told that there is natural drainage inside that, it is also worrying to me, because if that continues like that, it may, maybe flooded with water sometimes. All these problems taken to, I hope that, they should look at the first thing I think they must have done it, that in the 6-inch pipeline they must have, or from the mobiles which they have, they could have seen the inner side of the, the tunnel, that what is the situation over there. And they could have seen the rocks and the type of debris over there. I think if they do put, the first thing was to put a camera inside the tunnel and see what is the situation as said inside, and see the rock types and the structures and from where the things have fallen, and how about to drill. So it has to be a very careful, kind of a thing, because if it takes like that and certainly more debris falls, then it will be worrisome, because there will be less oxygen, there will be less light and more things, like that.
So is it even more difficult to do any kind of vertical drilling in this kind of mountainside, given the fragility of this mountain?
I'm really surprised, why they are taking vertical drilling, unless you have a, what kind of rocks they have. They have seen it, probably the fractures they have seen. You have to see from inside, not from outside, because inside where from the things have fallen, that has to be shown through the cameras. And if they have taken that into consideration, then they can do vertical, otherwise horizontal thing is. And one more thing, when you do a pre-construction of these tunnels, you always make escapes. You go by step forward, and then you have some escape ways. And there are rules for the laborers and there are trainings for the laborers that in that case what they have to do. I don't know what has happened. Probably they must have done all those things.
Mr. Bhatnagar, do we have the domestic expertise to deal with a situation like this? NDRF, has it really been trained to deal with this? Or do you require specialized services, possibly from abroad, to assist you in this rescue operation? We've now got experts coming in who are global tunnel experts.
Yeah, so definitely is a great challenge for us and to learn also lesson. And we will see that what best in this condition we can do it, and we will improve our capability and capacity also. But it's the work of engineering department, especially the highway authority and your other agencies who involved in such cases. But as far as NDRF is concerned, we are expert in the rescue operation only. We can rescue the people from any type of condition, whether it may be sea, whether it may be any adverse situations, we can do it. But in such conditions, the construction and machines and all these things, it's a challenge for the engineering department, safety department, and the authorities.
That's precisely the question, Professor Pandey, that we are dealing with these massive projects that are taking place in the Himalayan range, eco-sensitive ranges, where, as you said, the mountain side is very fragile. Is there a lesson here that we are going to have to be much more careful in dealing with this tunneling in these areas, particularly in places like Uttarkashi? Professor Dubey.
I remember one time, one time I remember the same thing happened in the right bank canal of the Andhra Pradesh Sri Salem left bank canal project. And the same problem came up because you have to, when you hard rock and soft rock both comes from the one side, the drills also you have to change, drill bits also you have to change. So it is very difficult. Sometimes the drill bits, they just get broken, they break, or they have soft things and they don't work properly. So that kind of problems are there. So we have to be very careful where we are dealing, what kind of rocks. The geology, geotechnical aspects are very important in this, and especially in Uttarkashi, because Uttarkashi, there was a big earthquake earlier of 6.1, and it had happened in the same area, almost nearby that. So minor earthquakes are bound to come over there, and these minor earthquakes means a landsliding. And this has happened due to the landsliding, and if there are big boulders which have taken the place, it is very difficult to remove that. So one has to understand the geotechnical aspects of that, and first they have to work mainly on a, say, 1:100 scale of the job, that what they are going to do in that site.
Well, let's hope for the best. As we said, the good news today is that 6-inch pipe is ensuring that at least food can reach the trapped workers. Oxygen is already there in plentiful supply. So the hope is that however long it takes, the workers as of now are completely safe, and the efforts will be now to ensure that without any further danger, slowly but surely the rescue forces will be able to do their drilling operations and reach the workers. I appreciate my guest joining me here on our top story at the moment. This week, the election campaign trail is focusing on Rajasthan, where elections take place on Saturday. Voting takes place on Saturday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the BJP's charge, addressing series of rallies and even road shows in places like Bikaner today. The Prime Minister accused the Congress of appeasement politics and of targeting Sanatan Dharma. For the Congress, Party President Mallikarjun Kharge and General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra led the charge, accusing the BJP of trying to divide voters on grounds of religion. Take a look at today's report.
Hindutva versus caste census. Modi's guarantees versus Congress guarantees. Ashok Gehlot versus anti-incumbency. The battle for Rajasthan is being fought on multiple lines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi set the tone for the BJP campaign a month ago when he blamed the Congress government for the beheading of Kanhaiya Lal in Udaipur.
कपड़े सिलाने के बहाने लोग आते हैं और बिना डर, बिना खौफ के टेलर का गला काट देते हैं और वीडियो बनाकर गर्व से वायरल कर देते हैं। कांग्रेस सरकार को उसमें भी वोट बैंक की चिंता सताती है।
The Congress is soft on terrorism. The opposition is targeting Sanatan Dharma. These are the charges consistently leveled by the Prime Minister and other BJP leaders in the election campaign.
कांग्रेस सरकार तुष्टीकरण के अलावा कुछ नहीं सोचती। तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति का असर क्या होता है, इसको राजस्थान ने बीते 5 वर्षों में झेला है। कांग्रेस ने राजस्थान को दंगों में झोंक दिया। कांग्रेस और उसके साथी सनातन को खत्म करने का ऐलान कर रहे हैं और सनातन को खत्म करने का मतलब है राजस्थान की संस्कृति को खत्म करना।
The Congress counter to BJP's Hindutva plank is the promise to implement caste census.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने दलित जो हमारा विधायक था उसको टिकट नहीं दिया। हमने कहा कि ऐसे आदमी को हम कांग्रेस पार्टी में टिकट नहीं देने वाले हैं। बीजेपी ने एकदम उसको उठा लिया। उनकी सोच है ये। इसीलिए नरेंद्र मोदी आज कह रहे हैं कि हिंदुस्तान में कोई जात नहीं है, सिर्फ गरीब है।
The grand old party is banking on welfare measures implemented by the Gehlot government and its guarantees, a formula that worked very well for them in Karnataka.
1 करोड़ परिवारों को 500 में सिलेंडर दिया जाएगा। महिला मुखिया को 10,000 रुपए सालाना दिए जाएंगे। 2 रुपए प्रति किलो गोबर खरीदा जाएगा। सरकारी कॉलेज में जाने वाले छात्रों को जो पहले साल की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, फर्स्ट ईयर में उनको लैपटॉप और टैबलेट दी जाएगी।
Is caste politics the antidote to BJP's Hindu unity call? Opposition Alliance India's formula for the Hindi heartland in 2024 faces a big litmus test in Rajasthan. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, I was in Rajasthan over the weekend and I met the former BJP state president Satish Punia. He is seen as one of the potential chief ministerial contenders, and I asked him, is the BJP in this final lap attempting to focus on its core Hindutva agenda? What does minority appeasement, as the BJP sees it in Rajasthan, really mean? Listen in.
क्या बीजेपी जैसे चुनाव आ रहे हैं उसे हिंदू बनाम मुस्लिम बनाना चाहती है? योगी आदित्यनाथ की बात होती है, राम मंदिर की बात होती है, क्या कहीं ना कहीं ये अब हिंदू मुस्लिम बन जाएगा जैसे राजस्थान चुनाव नजदीक आ जाए?
बिल्कुल नहीं बनेगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबको साथ लेकर चलती है। आज यदि मोदी सरकार की कोई नीतियां हैं तो सबके लिए हैं। मोदी जी यदि ट्रिपल तलाक के लिए फैसला करते हैं तो मुस्लिम बहनों के लिए करती हैं। वाजपेयी जी के युग में यदि एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम राष्ट्रपति बनते हैं तो उस समरसता का एक संदेश है। इसलिए बहुसंख्यक लोगों की अपनी आस्था का जहां तक प्रश्न है तो हम राम मंदिर को नकार नहीं सकते। योगी जी उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, वो पार्टी के प्रचार के लिए आएंगे। उन्होंने विचारधारा के लिए जिस दृढ़ता से काम किया उसकी एक मान्यता है। इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि इसको हिंदू मुस्लिम की बजाय इसको एक व्यापक परिप्रेक्ष्य में देखना चाहिए कि आज विचारधारा के आधार पर पूरी दुनिया बढ़ती है। राष्ट्रवाद के विचार को लेकर यदि हम कोई बात करते हैं तो वो कोई हिंदू मुस्लिम की बात नहीं, पूरे समग्र देश की बात।
क्योंकि मोदी जी और आपने भी आरोप लगाया है कि गेहलोत सरकार तुष्टीकरण कर रही है। उनका कहना है कि ये बहुत गलत, आप एक खतरनाक बात कह रहे हैं, समाज को बांटने की बात कर रहे हैं, जबकि उनका कहना है इस तरह की बातों से केवल आप वोट धर्म के नाम पर लेना चाहते हैं। ये उनका कहना है।
देखिए, हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, कांग्रेस ने वोट बैंक की राजनीति इसी ध्रुवीकरण पे की है। वो केवल मुस्लिम को वोट बैंक के नजरिए से देखते हैं
और आप हिंदुओं को देखते हैं वोट बैंक से।
हम इंसान के नजरिए से देखते हैं, क्योंकि अशोक गहलोत ने पिछले इस पूरे 5 साल में रामनवमी पर प्रतिबंध लगाया, हिंदू नववर्ष पर 144 लगाई, हिजाब के मसले में कहाँ हिजाब का मसला कर्नाटक में, कोटा में उसी हिजाब के मसले में पीएफआई को रैली निकालने की परमिशन दी। कन्हैयालाल की गर्दन कटती है, कन्हैयालाल गुहार लगाता है कि मुझे थ्रेट है। अशोक गहलोत गृह मंत्री, अशोक गहलोत की पुलिस कोई एक्शन नहीं करती है, उसकी गर्दन कट जाती है। तो ये साफ तौर पर संदेश जाता है कि बहुसंख्यक लोगों के भी मानवाधिकार हैं, उनकी भी जीवन है, उनका भी सम्मान है। इसलिए कोई तुष्टीकरण की आवश्यकता नहीं थी, लेकिन अशोक गहलोत ऐसा करते हैं।
ये चुनाव राम पर लड़ा जा रहा है या ये चुनाव विकास पर लड़ा जा रहा है?
देखिए, राम पे भी लड़ा जाएगा और विकास पे भी लड़ा जाएगा। वाजपेयी जी ने विकास की शुरुआत की थी, मोदी जी ने आगे बढ़ाया। राम हमारे आस्था के प्रतीक हैं, उस आस्था से कोई समझौता नहीं।
So let me raise the questions. Caste politics or Hindutva politics? What really works on the ground in a state like Rajasthan? Has the Ashok Gehlot government then used freebies to offset anti-incumbency? Is this now becoming, in this last stretch, a Gehlot versus Modi battle? Just some of the questions I'll raise. Avinash Kalla, senior journalist based in Rajasthan, joins me. Rohan Gupta is the Congress's spokesperson, and Sanju Verma, the BJP spokesperson, is with us. Let's go to each of them first for opening remarks. To you, Avinash, before I come to the politicians, do you get a sense that Rajasthan, in this final stretch, the BJP is determined in some way to ensure Hindu consolidation? Or do you believe Rajasthan sees its politics primarily through the prism of caste, Gujars, Meenas, Jats? That's the primary identity of people in Rajasthan when it comes to elections.
Rajdeep, what you said, that Rajasthan is the caste-divided politics. It's not a communal politics so far. The specific areas have different caste combinations and the fights that are going on. So in the eastern Rajasthan, you have Gujars and the Meenas. In the western Rajasthan, you will have Rajputs and the Jats. So these kind of rights are there. We're not a communal state. But ever since the last elections happened, the BJP has taken the Hindutva plank. In the last election, only had one Muslim candidate contesting from the BJP. This time, out of 200, there is no candidate who's from the Muslim community. And in each and every speech, with each and every passing day, while the Congress is upping the ante on welfare schemes, the BJP is going, harping on the Hindutva issue, the Mandir issue. Kanhaiya Lal is a staple for all the speeches that are given. And today, you mentioned Dr. Satish Punia's interview in your intro. In his constituency today, Yogi said that if you send Punia to the Vidhan Sabha, he will book a ticket for all the people on a train, and they will take you to Ayodhya post 22nd of January. So that is the kind of guarantee that they are giving. So they are wanting to make it a Hindutva election as well, because that is their core strength.
You know, Sanju Verma, you just heard what Avinash Kalla said. In this last stretch, the Prime Minister raising Kanhaiya Lal, raising Ram Mandir. Kanhaiya Lal in particular, the manner in which, for our viewers, a tailor was tragically killed by Muslim extremists in Udaipur. But when I went to Udaipur, what resonates is not Kanhaiya Lal on the ground. People are debating freebies, people are debating collapsing infrastructure, people are debating corruption. How does the BJP, is the BJP using Kanhaiya Lal's case to spread fear? Is it using the Ram Mandir and promising free rides to the Ram Mandir to consolidate a majority vote?
You know, Rajdeep, I have been on a zillion shows with you, and very rightly, whenever it is the BJP which is defending its bastion, I remember prior to the Uttar Pradesh elections, you and many other journalists, they would ask, you know, what has Yogi Adityanath done? Why do you think he deserves a second term? And I would lay out the work done by the Yogi government. Ditto was the case with Uttarakhand. People said, oh, you've changed 3 chief ministers in the run-up to the Uttarakhand assembly elections in 2022. Is baar lagta hai BJP ka supra saaf hoga. Why don't you present your report card? What I fail to understand is that who is in power today? The party in power, jo satta mein hai, it is the Congress. And the Congress needs to be asked to showcase its report card for whatever it is worth. What BJP will do or not do, wo to baat hogi hi, discussion hogi hi. I want to ask one simple question. And because through your channel and through your show in particular, because yours is a much widely watched show, the Congress social media head has been peddling lies that because I believe that law and order will be the biggest mudda in the Rajasthan polls, irrespective of the caste cleavages and the caste matrix, which always comes into play. You know, there was a tweet put out by the social media head saying that the conviction rate for crimes in Rajasthan is a solid 58% vis-a-vis the national average of 28%, which is absolute hogwash, and nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, this is an article dated barely a few days back, you know, News Laundry, which I don't think is a pro-BJP or Sanghi website by any stretch of imagination. And there are some very interesting numbers thrown up by News Laundry in the analysis pertaining to Rajasthan polls, where they say that out of 56,879 crime cases in Rajasthan between 2018 and 2023, the conviction rate, you have to hear this, the conviction rate was 22.38% in 2022, much lower than the 27.49% in 2020. And I also checked up the crime statistics of the National Crime Records Bureau, which says that the conviction rate, national average, is 57% currently. It hit a high of 59.2% in 2020. To cut a long story short, I think the absolute mayhem, the lawlessness, the fact that in Dausa, a policeman has the audacity to murder, rape a minor, the fact that in Bhilwara, a 6-month-old infant is raped and then thrown into an empty well, the point, I think these are things that need to be discussed.
If you are making law and order a core issue, that's interesting, because while you're saying law and order here, on the ground, the BJP is raising the Kanhaiya Lal bogie. Now the government of Rajasthan says, look, we are... No, 1 minute. the government of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot says we arrested all those involved in it, and say, why can't you, why are you making this a Hindu-Muslim election? Make it about law and order, make it about women's security, make it about what you believe are the core issues. Why make it Hindu-Muslim?
I will answer that. Rajdeep, I have now become an ace. Each time you interrupt me, my
No, ma'am, I'm not interrupted you. I allowed you 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Yes. So
give me a short response.
Please don't get so agitated. I'm answering you. Just hold your horses. The simple answer is this. I will repeat, because I'm sure that, as the national spokesperson of BJP, I have every right, while answering your questions on your show, it is my duty to showcase the crumbling and pathetic law and order situation. And I repeat, where was Priyanka Vadra, who ran to Hathras, saying, "Ladki hu, lad sakti hu"? When there was a Dalit girl who was gang raped in Alwar, Priyanka Vadra was holidaying in the Ranthambore National Park, and she refused to visit the victim, saying, "Rape to hua hi nahi." Ashok Gehlot ke muh mein dahi jam jata hai. A young minor is raped in Bhilwara. Ashok Gehlot, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra ke muh mein Fevicol lag jata hai. A young minor is raped in Pali by her own school teacher. Priyanka Vadra ke muh mein Fevicol, Rahul Gandhi. To kehte hain Rajasthan mein sab changa si.
Okay,
The health minister's son rapes a minor in Rajasthan. Rajdeep, 1 minute. The health minister's son, Johari Lal Meena's son, Deepak Meena, rapes a minor in Rajasthan. National media के मुंह में फेविकॉल जम जाता है.
नहीं, कोई फेविकॉल नहीं जमा है. We have raised all these stories that you mentioned. 1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am, let the Congress spokesperson रोहन गुप्ता बड़ी शांति से आपकी बात सुन रहे हैं. उनको जवाब देने दीजिए. रोहन गुप्ता.
रोहन गुप्ता शांत है. आप इतना बखलाहट में क्यों आ गए हैं? Now let me finish. Let me finish in 20 seconds, please.
Okay.
Now, very quickly, I have already showcased to you that the same family which runs to Hathras, is quiet and says nothing when Dalits are being butchered, raped, mutilated, thrown in empty wells in Rajasthan. But I want to ask you one thing. When there was a Shobha Yatra in Karoli last year, Matlub Ahmed, who's linked to the Congress, has fought on a Congress ticket in the council elections, municipal council elections. मुझे बात बताइए राजदीप जी, has Matlub Ahmed been arrested yet? Answer is no. Has the perpetrator of Dausa crime been arrested yet? Answer is no. Has the perpetrator of the Bhilwara gang rape been arrested yet? Answer is no. Has the perpetrator of the Alwar gang rape been arrested yet? Yet the answer is no. Has the perpetrator of the gang rape been arrested yet? The answer is no.
Okay, you made the point. You're claiming that law and order, according to you, is the major issue. Rohan Gupta, what it appears is the BJP has decided in the final stretch that we are going to tell the people of Rajasthan that they, according to my guest here, Sanju Verma, she said this is not about Hindu-Muslim, this is about law and order. She believes that the Congress has failed on law and order. That is what the Prime Minister's message is.
See, I think the intolerance and frustration of BJP spokesperson speaks about the situation in Rajasthan. And Rajdeep, as you are a senior reporter and journalist, you know that when as an opposition party, you try to raise communal issue, it means you are short of issues. See, if we are in power, BJP has a lot of issues to raise. But they have realized now that on ground, these issues are not resonating because this is the government which has fulfilled more than 90% of the poll promises. This is the government with the guarantees which are given to people of Rajasthan, they are resonating with the people. So last में जब आ गए कि हार मरता क्या ना करता, अब उनको लगता है कि हम मरने वाले हैं, इसलिए हिंदू मुसलमान की ओर भाग रहे हैं. जब भी भाजपा मरने वाली होती है, हिंदू मुसलमान की तरफ भागती है, पर इस बार हिंदू मुसलमान भी नहीं बचाएंगे क्योंकि बजरंग बली उन्होंने कर्नाटक में भाजपा को माफ नहीं किया, महादेव उनको छत्तीसगढ़ में ना माफ नहीं करेंगे और कन्हैया और राम इनको राजस्थान में माफ नहीं करेंगे. मार्क बाय वर्ड्स, दिस इज द फ्रस्ट्रेशन. और जब भी बीजेपी की मौत आती है, हिंदू मुसलमान की तरफ भागते हैं.
No, but Rohan Gupta, the fact is, and I was on the ground in Rajasthan, the BJP is raising a variety of issues, particularly also corruption and law and order. They are claiming that for the last 4 years, the Congress spent most of its time fighting its internal battle between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, to use the Prime Minister's words. Both were trying to run each other out. and therefore less time was spent on critical issues, particularly law and order. That's the one issue that they keep citing as an example of governance having failed.
Rajdeep, one thing is very clear. The government which has fulfilled, I am telling on record, I challenged BJP spokesperson that 90% of the promises are fulfilled. When we can deliver gas cylinders to women of Rajasthan at 500 rupees, where was BJP? Where we delivered 25 lakhs of insurance schemes to people of Rajasthan, where is BJP? None of that guarantees are resonating in people. And Mr. Modi has to say that if they are elected to power, he will continue schemes of Gehlot government. आपको और क्या बड़ा सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए? मोदी जी ने क्या दिया कि कांग्रेस की योजना है? And the way I am telling you, Rajdeep, the way Rajasthan elections are taking turn in last phase, the BJP has to raise issues of Hindu-Musliman because on ground all other issues are not successful and they are really receiving the feedback. This is the only issue they can say. They can say BJP. Like Karnataka, they try to raise Bajrang Bali issue. I think they won't be successful this time.
Okay, I just want to bring in Avinash for a moment because the politicians will obviously give their own partisan, some would say, perspective. But Avinash, what's your sense on the ground? When I was there, I met young people. They're not interested in Hindu-Muslim in Rajasthan University. They were interested in government paper leaks. I meet women. Women are interested in ensuring that they get the gas cylinder at 450 or 500 rupees. They are not interested in Hindu-Muslim. What's your sense? Are our politicians who raise these issues, including Prime Minister Modi, not really in sync with what are the real issues on the ground?
Well, Rajiv, it's quite a bizarre scenario. I'll just add a small point to all the things that you were saying. And the BJP spokesperson was saying that law and order is an issue. But they raise law and order when it comes to Kanhaiya Lal. They fail to justify it that Giraj Singh Malinga, an MLA who broke the bones of a government official, and he is in hospital for 18 months, when the Congress has denied him a ticket, there was surely a case of law and order. How can BJP give a ticket to a candidate like that? And coming back to your issue, yes, paper leak is a big issue. Please do that. Please do that. We'll look forward to hearing your answer. Coming back to what Rajdeep asked about what are the real issues on the ground, paper leak is a big issue. Price rise is an issue. And Rajdeep, this election, for Congress, the way they have gone about this whole welfare scheme, it's a litmus test to the welfare scheme. That we might say everything, but Gehlot is the most popular leader in the state as of now. His welfare schemes have no answer. In fact, if you look at the BJP manifesto, they've just remixed and rejigged the things that are out there in the Congress guarantee card already. You know, like the BJP.
So you're saying that...
Can I just finish and then you can...
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just a couple of things. When the Congress said we are giving the gas cylinder in 500 rupees, the BJP came with 450 rupees. The BJP said we'll give scooties to the girl child who are brilliant or who do good in their 12th standard exam. The Congress has already given out scooties. So if you look at those things, they're by and large the same thing. There isn't anything which is new and specific to Rajasthan that the BJP has promised in this year's lineup. And also one more thing, all the Rajasthan faces have been put into a sideline. It's only the Prime Minister that is going out. The so-called 12 chief ministers who were there, now they are all busy in their own constituencies. The only lone warrior is Vasundhara Raje, who is moving out. Whether she has been put aside for the last 4 years and 10 months, but right now she is the... Ma'am, if anybody says anything against you guys, you only have one line.
Okay.
All right.
Sanju Verma...
So the challenge is there. That's the reality of the ground, that they cornered Vasundhara Raje for 4 years, 10 months, and right now...
Can I for a moment, Avinash, just stop you? I want Sanju Verma to respond. Sanju Verma, I come back to it. You know, there are issues resonating on the ground. I gave you the example of paper leaks. These are the issues that should be part of a debate. How are you going to ensure that there will be no further government paper leaks? Hundreds and thousands of students have lost their careers because of this. Why can't we see a debate on the real issues? How does it, you know, the way minority appeasement is being posed, almost as if to suggest, Ashok Gehlot told me, why don't you dismiss my government? He told me on record, if you believe that I am hand in glove with terrorists, dismiss my government. When the Prime Minister says, if you want to hang the killers of Kanhaiya Lal, press the lotus button. What's the message being sent out?
Rajdeep Sardesai, I heard you. And let me tell you, you should also, journalists are human beings after all. I've been on a couple of debates with Mr. Avinash Kalla, and with no offense to none, You should say that he has his heart beating and bleeding for the Congress. Because Mr. Kalla sits here and says...
I know Avinash Kalla well. He's not even... Ashok Gehlot refuses to meet him at times. Are you aware that Ashok Gehlot refuses to meet Avinash Kalla because he has questioned Ashok Gehlot's government?
I refuse to be on your debate if you don't have the decency to allow uninterrupted time to me.
Arey ma'am, you made an allegation against a fellow panelist.
So he will respond when he gets his turn. He will respond when he gets his turn. You don't have to be his proxy.
I'm not his proxy, but I will not allow personal comments to go unchallenged. But please go ahead, ma'am.
I will speak what I need to speak because your definition of personal comments is very subjective and the whole world knows that. वो जग जाहिर है राजदीप. आपको बीजेपी का हर कमेंट पर्सनल लगता है, बाकियों का नहीं, ये जग जाहिर है. Now let me complete. Mr. Kalla said that it is the promises and the welfare schemes, blah blah blah, which will work. Law and order is not central to this election. Now imagine, instead of Rajasthan, instead of Ashok Gehlot in Assam, if there had been 6,000 rapes a year with a conviction rate of 22%, what would journalists be saying? Himanta Biswa Sarma's neck would be on the line. If instead of Gehlot, यदि ML खट्टर के हरियाणा में साल में 6,000 gang rapes और बलात्कार होते, people would have been baying for ML Khattar's blood, and the headline on India Today would have been, when will Khattar resign? If it had been Yogi Adityanath's Uttar Pradesh, where the conviction rate was 22% and there were 6,000 rapes a year, Rajiv Sardesai's headline would be, when will Yogi Adityanath resign? But now that it is Ashok Gehlot, we are supposed to be having a debate not on the Dausa gang rape, not on the Pali gang rape, not on the Bhilwara gang rape, not on the Alwar gang rape, not on the Jodhpur gang rape, but on Ashok Gehlot's welfare schemes. But excuse me, as Rajdeep you often say, ye public hai, ye sab janti hai. Law and order will be a big issue, but just in 20 seconds. We all know Hanuman Beniwal's RLP is fighting on 78 seats. They are not going to cut into BJP's vote share. They will be cutting into the Jat vote share of the Congress. Chandrasekhar Azad's ASP is fighting on 48 seats. They will not cut into the Dalit vote bank of the BJP. They will cut into the Dalit vote bank of the Congress.
Okay, I've listened to you uninterrupted. I've given you no, ma'am. Just look at the amount of time you've got versus the time Rohan Gupta, whose party has to answer those questions, has got. So next time you accuse me of not giving you enough time, please measure the time that two of you have got. Rohan Gupta, in fairness, I will give you 30. I will give Rohan Gupta 30 seconds. Rohan Gupta, all said and done, do you accept that you are on the back foot in the state, given that all these charges are being made against your leader? The freebies, the welfare schemes are only to offset this anti-incumbency as a last measure by Ashok Gehlot's government.
Rajdeep, if these are freebies, why BJP has to adhere to it? If you see BJP's manifesto, they have copy-paste Congress adding 1.2 times. That's it. There is nothing new. If it is freebie, they are criticizing the freebie. Why they are offering gas cylinder in 450 rupees? They should not. And what is the crime of other BJP ruled states? I am from Gujarat. Why they are not offering this to people of Gujarat? So people know that this is चुनावी झुंझुना. जो मोदी जी के जुमले हैं, अब राजस्थान में जुमले घूम रहे, कोई भरोसा नहीं करेगा. बीजेपी के वादों पे मोदी जी को बीच में मत बोलिए. मैं भी बोल सकता हूँ जोर से. Please be silent and keep quiet. Keep your mouth shut. Please listen to me, Miss Anju Sharma. I was listening to you carefully.
No mouth shut and all. There's no need to say mouth shut, Rohan Gupta.
No, Rajdeep, she is continuously talking and she's not. I have been patient, you know that. She has to keep quiet. Rajdeep, it is very simple. When it comes to BJP, whatever Congress party offers, if you see Karnataka, if you see Himachal Pradesh, we gave guarantee to the people of states and we delivered in record time, within 6 months. And that is why people are with us. Okay. Why BJP has to resort to Hindu-Musliman politics is because they know that these guarantees are going to be successful. Congress has found solution to Hindu-Muslim politics of BJP. That is the delivery of guarantee. Same thing happened in Karnataka. Same thing happened in Himachal. Same thing will happen in Rajasthan. Same thing happen. Our guarantees are resonating people with Madhya Pradesh. And we will see the results. When the results will come on 3rd, you will see that guarantees will overpower Hindu-Muslim politics of BJP.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate my guests joining me. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma, Rohan Gupta, Avinash Kalla for joining me. Okay, the nation wants to know, or so I'm told, why India lost against Australia in the final, a team that was just seemingly invincible, winning one match after the other, 10 in a row. why did they lose the big final in Ahmedabad? Lots of recrimination, lots of reasons being offered. I'm going to give you 5. And listen to each of them carefully, and then you make up your mind. Reason number 1, India lost because we got the pitch badly wrong. Now you could ask who made that pitch, who curated it? Was it the ICC, the BCCI, or did the players demand a dry, slow pitch? A pitch where batting first became difficult, a pitch where once the dew came in post 7 p.m, batting became easier. All I can say is whoever decided on the pitch got it horribly wrong, because then you made the match a lottery. The Australian captain won the toss, put you in, the wicket was slow and low. You thought you would spook the Australians by making such a wicket. Well, as I said last night on a program, you dug your own grave. So whoever made that pitch, whoever pushed for a slow, low pitch, got it horribly wrong. Number 2, our batting chinks were exposed. Now you could argue, how can the batting chinks be exposed when we've done so remarkably well across this tournament? Truth is, you had your Fab 5 top batsmen. But after number 5, many of your batsmen were simply not prepared for such a high pressure game. So when you were 81 for 3, you suddenly had 2 batsmen in Kohli and Rahul who chose to play defensively because they were worried what would come after them. And that is where your batting was exposed. You didn't have a strong 6, 7, 8 that you sometimes need when your top 3 are out early. Number 3, India lost because of home crowd pressure. Now that seems a tough thing to say given that we won 10 in a row. But the truth is, the crowd in Ahmedabad actually thought it wasn't a case of if we win, but when we win. The crowd actually seemingly expected India to win, and those expectations may well have got to the players. Let's be clear, the fear of failure is something that can actually affect you when you've got 100,000 people not cheering even one shot of the Australians, but only relentlessly focusing on India has to win. There are 2 teams who play in cricket, and sometimes home crowd pressure can get to you. Number 4, India may have lost because of what we in cricket call the law of averages. You win 10 in a row, but it takes one day and one bad day for things to go wrong. Maybe we needed a defeat somewhere along the way to allow us to handle these kinds of matches. We simply swept the opposition, so we never came across a really high pressure situation. And when we did in the finals, we faltered. So sometimes the law of averages can work against you. Finally and truthfully, India played remarkably through this tournament, but on the final day, the Australians were too good. This is a country of about 25 million people, 2.5 crore people, but this is a sports-mad country, a country which knows how to play big matches, as their record of winning 6 final shows. On the day, they outbatted, outbowled, and particularly outfielded you with that great catch by Travis Head that changed the match. Let's sometimes show the grace and accept that other teams are as good, if not better than us. That is the true spirit that we should have in sports. Next time, when someone scores 100 like Travis Head, get up and cheer him. When an opposition captain lifts the trophy, celebrate, don't walk away. The crowd in Ahmedabad has much to think about, as hopefully you, the viewer, also does. I'll also leave you with 5 reasons to take heart. Number 1, that remarkable 10-match winning streak. Let's be honest, we must celebrate the way we played for 10 consistent matches. It's something to feel proud of the way we played. We should take heart that we have a Fab 5 bowling attack, the best in the world, many would say, in most conditions, not when the dew sets in. Another reason to take heart is Virat Kohli's supreme form. Just a year or 2 ago, people were calling for Virat Kohli to actually retire. He's been the highest scorer, has been remarkable in every sense through this tournament. Rohit Sharma's leadership, he gave a calm, mature leadership, allowed the players to enjoy the game, led from the front by playing with remarkable freedom. Let's salute him also. And another reason to take heart, trust me, there's a next generation of Indian cricketers which will be even better. We are, I still believe, the superpower of cricket on the field, I wish the administrators of the field would recognize next time that this is a World Cup, not a cup made in India, by India, for India. Therefore, celebrate next time by bringing the World Cup and making it a truly global event. That's for another day. We'll talk more on that. For now, you stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubh Ratri. Jai Hind, Namaskar.